Hey all, Satish here. Today let's see how to use SIM800C to transmit some data to the server that we set up. In one of the earlier videos, I had shown you how to set up a web service which can receive data from modem or Wi-Fi modules and insert it into a database. So if you are interested in that, you can go and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, now with the SIM800C, so this is a development board that I have where I'm going to show you how to transfer data to the server. And I'll also show you how to send and receive an SMS also. So now to this I have connected, I'm going to use Doclight. This is one of my favorite terminal apps. Okay, and to start off you will need a few documents. One is the hardware design document. So this document tells you, like, when you design the hardware, what are the considerations that you will need, like what should be the power supply rating, and what is the TX, RX and pins, and what should you wear. And there is one key which is very important, is the power key. So the power key is the one which you will be using to start the modem or reset the modem or shut down the modem. It will be done using a single key. You can go through this document and find out how it happens. Basically you pull it down and leave, it goes into a particular state. For example, let's assume it is off. You pull it low for between 1.5 and 33 seconds, for example 2 seconds, and leave it go, it will turn on. If it is on, if you pull this pin low and let it go, it will turn off. So that is how you turn on and off this module. And there is one more, that's the AT command documents. So this will tell you all the commands that is required for you to transmit the data to the server. Okay, let's start. In the description below, I will give you the Dropbox link of all the files that I am having. That is this, and I will also share a AT command. So I have written down all the commands which we are going to try out today. So the first, make sure that you are connected to the port. So this currently is at 9600 and this is on COM port 5. The first command you are going to try is AT command. So AT command, it will tell, okay, this is a way to establish, this is a way to find out if the modem is working or not, whether it is responding to the AT commands. So if this AT is not responding, it basically means that your modem is powered off, or the baud rate or some of the baud rate parity or something is wrong, or the command which you are sending is not going to the modem. Okay, we have this, and this AT, and you have to do a carriage return. That is, to get this you have to do control and enter, or else what you can do is go to hex and D 0D, and generally sometimes we do 0A also. In this case 0A is not required, only 0D is enough. So come back to ASCII. AT, okay, so it has to respond, okay, so that is the first thing. The second command is to get the IMEI number. So it is not required to get the IMEI number, but I'll show you how to do that, because once you get into embedded system, this is something unique. Sometimes people use this as a board ID or the unique number to identify the hardware. But the only issue is, suppose the modem fails, you put a new modem, the IMEI number will change. So that you have to be careful about. So I'll just take you through all the AT commands here also for you to understand. So AT plus GSN will send you the IMEI number. Get IMEI AT plus GSN is equal to, for this command this is more than enough, so it will give you the IMEI number. So this is a unique number, 15-digit number, which every modem will have. Okay, next step is to check if the SIM card is inserted. So let me, you have AT plus C means C SMINS. Let me copy this. Let me take. So this is just giving a name. This is not important. So this is the actual sequence which it is going to transmit. C means 0, 0. So 0, 0 means disabled and SIM not inserted. For some reason it is not detecting my SIM. Yeah, it is off position. So let me put it back properly. Let me restart the unit once. Let's give it a try. Let me just clear it. 80 IMIE 0, 0 still not inserted. Okay, I have inserted the SIM properly. Now let's wait. Okay, let me do 80 IMI number check SIM 0, 1. 0, 1 tells SIM inserted. So now the SIM has been detected. So if your SIM is not detected, no point of going further. 80 plus CREG will tell you if it is registered to the network. After the command, you have to give 0D. So as I told you, control and enter will give you that. Is to cross check 0D. You can do 0D, 0A also, but not required in case of this model. 0, 1. 0, 1 means, let us check. So you have 0 and 1 registered to home network, and 0, 5 also means you can use it, means it is roaming. For example, you are in Karnataka and you bought a Delhi SIM or from a different state, it will show 0, 5. Okay, now after that we have so I have written briefly about what the command is here. So this will be in the link which I'll put in the description below. You can get the signal strength. Signal strength is 19. Let's do 80 plus CSQ. Just check the command. Signal strength 19, 0. So it is the signal strength. So I think the maximum is around 31. That's the max you will get. So anything more than 10 or 15, it should be able to connect to the net. So I've also seen that even at 5, 6 also it connects to the net. But then the connection is not guaranteed. But anything more than 20 is fine. Or 15 is good. So we have 19 here. Then get clock. Means this modem has a built-in RTC. So you can get the time. So right now it would have not gotten any time. It will start with the default time. So if you want to use the inbuilt RTC, for example, in your board does not have an RTC, then instead of going for an RTC chip, what you can do is you can use this modem's inbuilt RTC, and there is an RTC backup power also which you can provide to the modem. But for that you have to set the time. So to set the time, this is the command. So right now the time is 22:18. So it is hour, year, month, date, hours, minutes, second, and the offset. So we have an offset of 5.5 hours in India. I'm not ignoring it. You can put it. You can just go through the document of how basically this is. One is 15 minutes offset, two is 30 minutes. That is how it goes. So once you set the time here, now it has set the time, it has given OK. Now if you get the time, you can see it is incrementing from the time that we have set. 3 seconds, 8, 11. And one more thing, like the CREG, you can keep giving this actually, because when your IoT device turns on, it might not have been, it might take some time to register to the network. So at that time you get 0,0 and keep giving this command until you get 0,1 or 0,5. Now you get time, and this is a set time. Then you have this doclet. You cannot save this project, else I would have saved it and given it to you. Okay, after that we have send SMS. One is you have to set up in which mode you want it to be, CMGF. So let's check what that is. Select SMS format or mode. One is PD, 0 is PDU mode and one is text mode. So we will be using the text mode. So let's do this. Now it has given OK, and there is one more command which I have missed out, that is this CME error mode. This error mode is something which you have to enable, because if for example some command gives you an error, so if you have enabled the error mode, it will give you the error code. Then using the error code you can come here and find out what is the reason for the error. So make sure that you do this in the beginning itself. CMGF is set SMS to text mode, then enable error mode. So do this initially itself. As soon as you get response for 80, do this CME. You can go in the order which I have showed here. For some reason I skipped this one. Okay, now after that you have enabled error mode. Then you want to, now I'll show you how to send the SMS. So to send the SMS, what you have to do here is, first go here, put your mobile number, then it will show you this symbol, the greater than symbol. That means that you can send whatever text you want from SIM800C. And to terminate this, you have to use 1A. Go to X, 1A. You have to, 1A will terminate the message, like 0A, 0D will not. 1A is important. You should remember this. Until you send 1A, it will be expecting you to send some more text. So once you do that, it has sent the message. So I should be receiving the message. 1 minute. Okay, I have received the message. Now next step will be to how do you receive the message. Okay, for that let me send a message from my phone. Okay, so first thing will be probably, it will tell you that you have received a message. So this is a code which you will receive, and this is a message number. So this message number means there is one message, the message location. So the message location, you have received a message and the message count or the location is 1. So whatever you do to read this message should refer this number. Let me for example send the same message again once again, so it become 2. See, SM comma 2 means I received a message in the current location of that new message is 2. Then to receive that, what you have to do here is, this 1 is the location. So it shows what I have received your message SIM800C. That is what I sent in 1. What I sent in 2 was also the same thing. So let me put message 3. So it should show message 3 now. Message 3. So here if I do message 3, see, I have added message 3 to the text which I sent. So that is how you read a message. So if you want to read the message, you have to pass the message number 3. Okay, after that, for example, if you want to delete all the messages, what you have to do is pass this command. Control enter to get that 0D. Yeah, it has deleted all the message. So now if it gets any new message, instead of 4, it will get this number 1. I send the message. See, it has got 1. So now if I read 3, there won't be anything. Okay. So if I read 1, I should get the message. I sent hi. So that is how you send and receive message in this modem. Now that we have finished the SMS section, now let's get into the get method and the post method. Let's start off with the get method. Get method by definition is used to get some data from the server, and post method is used to write some data into the server. But the get method is very easy compared to post method. The way it is going to transmit the data in get method, what happens is the data will be part of the URL, and in case of post method, what will happen is the data will be in part of the body. So I'll show you what is the difference. So in one of the previous chapters, we had set up a web application which we wrote it in Visual Studio and uploaded it into our GoDaddy server, where we were receiving the data and putting a data and inserting the data into a MySQL database. You can check out the chapter. I'll leave a link in the description below. So this is the get request that I have. Let me paste it here. So it is a receive data explain inputs and get request, and the parameters which I am passing are system ID is 10, sensor ID is LM35, you can have it anything, sensor type is temperature, and value is 22. So what it will do is it will insert this into the database, and we had also written a page to view the data, that is receive data, display data. Here you can search for system ID 10. So you can see all the system ID. So this is just now that which I inserted at 10 p.m. So it's 10:1. Just now we have inserted it into the database. So now let's see how we can implement the get request in SIM800C. So I just restarted the dock light. So you might see some SMS things are missing. So okay, let's continue with it. So first thing what we have to do is we have to attach to the GPRS service. So the command is cgatt is equal to 1. So if you go to our document attach or detach from service. So this is, I think this basically is used to start the GPRS stack inside the modem itself. So let me copy this. Attach to GPRS. And as usual, control enter, or else you can go to hex and do 0D, or you can do 0D 0A also. So let me apply. So if you see here, OK should come. The response is OK. In case you get an error, what you have to do is you have to detach and reattach again. So the command to detach is AT plus CGATT is equal to 1. If this also fails, then you can reset the modem. So you might see that as we go on with the multiple commands, I've written if that fails, which step you have to go back to. If none of them works, you have to just restart the modem. In one of the future classes, I'll write a state machine to communicate to the server in microchip and with Renesas. So that time I'll show you how if any of these stages it fails, which step to go back to. So in case this fails, you have to detach and reattach again. After that, you have to set the APN username and password. So I'm using an Airtel SIM. So set APN username and password. Control enter. So it is the command is, if you come and search it here, you have to do APN username and password for the Airtel SIM. The APN is airtelgprs.com and the username and password, it does not have anything. So you have to get OK. In case you get an error here, it is better to restart the modem. Then bring up the wireless connection. This is start the bearer. Basically here what you are doing here is you are enabling the data in the modem, like how you do in our mobile phones where you turn on the data. So this is the command which turns on the data. Okay, bring up wireless connection in GPRS or CDS. So we are going to use GPRS. The command for that is you just hit this command, bring up while start control enter, that is carriage return, don't forget this 0D or 0D 0A, apply. So once you give this, it may take a bit of time and give OK. OK means now you have the modem has connected to the internet. If you have an network LED on the development board or the board you have, it will start blinking the net in a different fashion. The net LED will start blinking. Okay, now you have connected to the, bring up the wireless, start the bearer. So if this fails, then what you have to do is AT plus SIP shut and retry this again. So I'm just going to take them. You can, if at all it fails here, do AT SIP shut and start again. If that also fails, you can disconnect the GPRS and restart again. If that also does not work, restart the modem. So now once we have connected to the internet, we would have received a unique IP. Get IP, sorry. Apply. So this is the IP address which we have received. Okay, after that, this SIP status. This SIP status will give you the status of what is happening with the in the modem. At which state are you connected to GPRS? Are you connected to the server? This SIP status will tell you. So it has multiple state. Connect initialized. Once it's initialized, has it started? Is it connected? And everything you can get here just to know what is the status of your internet connection. So let me see. So right now I think we should get, we have only initialized it, so we should get that. Let's check. IP status. So we have received the IP. I think that is what it means. We have already started here. Sorry, we had started the start bearer. So that is why we are out of initialize and start is also complete. Now we have received the net connection. So after that, let's see what is the next command that will add IP header at the beginning of the package received package. So I'm not sure if this is required, but I've always been using this. I cannot recollect why I had done it in the first case. So anyway, I've been using this for a long time. So let's just try it once. Maybe you can give it a try skipping this. I think it should work without that also. We should get OK. Then this is where we are going to start connecting to the server. SIP start, set up TCP or UDP connection. We are going to use a TCP mode. So you Google for what is the difference between TCP and UDP. So these are server in TCP mode, receive data.exploringembeddedSystem.com and the port 80. This is our data. It's not here. Control enter. So let's check the status before this, and let me connect to server. It has been connected. Now if I get the status, it is connected. Okay, it is connected to the server. So at any point of time, if you want to know the network status or the GPRS status, you can do get status. Now I have connected to the server. So after that, the next is SIP send. This is where you are going to tell that I am going to send and prepare to send. Apply. I'm not going to send this because I will make the other packet also which we have to send. This is just telling that I'm going to send the data. Just copy this. This CR and LF you have to replace by 0D 0F. So let me do one thing. If I delete it here, no, this itself will give a. Let me delete it. Let me just check. There is one 0A0 here. Only 0D will not work. You have to hit 0D 0A. There is one here, and there is 1 2 after I send the host name. So get is the type of request I am doing. This is the path, because we are already connected to the server here. I am just going to give get path, and these are the parameters I am going to transmit. That is system ID is 10, sensor ID is LM35, sensor type temperature, value is 22.3, and this is the get request. This is what it required. This is not part of the data, this is part of the request. So don't meddle with it, just keep it as it is. Let me paste it here. Send the data. So get, we should have received a /r/n after http here. Yeah, we have received here, and there's some junk here also. Let me delete it off. Then we have host. I think there is some space or something, or this tab. I think this tab created the junk value. Okay, and be careful. Please remove that. After that we have host, then receive data. I'm explaining about /r/n, and this we need twice. You can go to 0D 0A, twice is required. Okay, and termination was also required, that is 1A. So 1A will tell that my get request is complete. This 1A is a must, or else it will be waiting for this 1A and the command will not be processed. Okay, it is connected. I am asking prepare to send. It is telling a CME error 3. So let's connect to server again. Yeah, connected. Okay, it had actually disconnected from the server, that is why it gave that error. Then prepare to send. I should get this command, this line, then send data. So when I have sent the data, it is telling request is invalid. There is some error. Let me just check it. Connect to server, send. Okay, yeah, it had sent. I think I sent the SIP send. I sent it twice. That is why the last time it gave an error. So if you see, it has inserted the data. The value is 22.3. So if you come to our request here, 20 view 22.3 should have come here. Yeah, it's already there. So let me change the value and send it once again. So instead of 22.3, let me do 22 and give 35. So you can change the value but not the header. Okay, that is you can, like, system ID, don't change this. Whatever value you want to change it. Instead of 10 you can put 1000. I think most of them will be using 10. So you can pick a unique number, and in the view you use a filter particularly for that. Okay, send data. Okay, I had not sent the prepare to send data. So it has inserted. If you come here and view, you see it has received 35 from request type is get request, and this is the time where it has received. So now this is how the get request works. Now let's get into post request. So as I told you, get request is very simple. This is all that you have to do. In post request you have to do a bit more things. So until this point it is the same. After this, what happens is, this is how the post request goes. What you have to do here is, so let me show you how we do it from the computer once. So get the browser cannot send a post request. It always sends a get request. So for post request we had used Postman. You can check out the video of how we set up the web service. There the name was get request.asp. Here it is post request.aspx, and this is post. Sorry, this should be like this. This is post, and receive data post request.aspx, and in body you have form data. In form data we have filled it and sent. Here data is 55.5. Let me send this. So it has inserted there. The ID is 10. So if I come here and view it, 55.55 is here. Okay, now this is what we are trying to do. So generally data insertion should be post request. That is what get and post, that is the main difference between it. But we are using the get request here also to send the data, and post also to send the data. Okay, now the post request, the structure is like this. We have to send post, post slash the ASPX file which is going to receive this. Then we have to send everything that is here. Let me delete this because when I copy it from here, it automatically inserts that. Let me delete this, remove the space also. I think when I upload this file, these things will not be there. It should work away like this. So these are standard things that is required for the post request. And there are two here. After system ID, this is the data. But for this, no, what you have to do is you have to do what is the content length. This is must. So the content length is, if you see here, it's 62 bytes or 62 characters. So my content length I have put it at 62 here. So if you not see, the selection is 62. So that is my content length is 62. So if you have more data than 62, it will chop off at 62. If you are sending less data, it will be keep on waiting for that thing to happen. So this is the post request. Let me copy this. Let me remove this tab. So what will happen is like last time we saw, send data post request. Then let me paste it here and just see whether it has come correctly. Okay, let me post it and see what happens. And in the end, you need one more set of 0D 0A and terminate with 1A. Okay, so let me just check the status. Come to ASCII. TCP close. That means the connection has been lost to the server. Let me connect back to the server. Get status. It is connected. Preparing to send and send data. So it has posted the data. Yeah. So it has successfully posted the data. This is what we sent and send OK. After that, this is the header of the received packet. Then this is the packet which we have received as an acknowledgement. So when you're writing an embedded system code, you can pick up any of this. Like status is equal to success. If you find this thing, then you can understand that the server has received the packet, or else you have to retransmit the packet. To retransmit the packet, you have to prepare to send and send data. Okay, let me check what is the temperature here which we have put. It is I can see temperature is the data here, it is here 22.3. so let me change it to 22.5. so if I cannot change it 22 because I have already told the length is 62, value is 22.3. so let's just change it to 22.2 here and apply, and let me send data. Okay, it gave an error, CME error. Basically it means that it has disconnected from the server. So let me get status, connected. Okay, then send the data. So I think I did not do prepare for send data. So it has sent the data 22.2. If you come here and view, 22.2 has been inserted. Okay, so now this is the get and the post request. So the only difference where it happens, everything is same except that prepare to send, and this is the get request and prepare to send and post request. Okay, so based on, you can use whichever. By actual definition you have to use a post request. Okay, that is done. So let me do one more thing. Connection, shut down the connection and we'll check that also. AT plus CIP shut. So if it shows some error for some reason, For example, because of something the network got disconnected or can do this. It has shut down. Let me check the get status. Means there's just IP initialization. You have disconnected from the server. Get IP means you have completely shut it down. So you have to start the GPRS once again, or let me detach from GPRS and try it again, or attach to GPRS. Okay, this command actually not CIP shut disconnected from the GPRS itself. Yeah, just shut down the stack itself. That is why once I attach, I can go up this procedure. Okay, get IP. I've got the IP. For everything, after giving a command, you have to wait for the response. Okay, receive data, connect to server, wait until it shows connected. Okay, prepare to send, send. Okay, so now you try to figure out, like, if at all it gives an error, where you have to go back. So generally what I do here is I do disconnect and detach from the GPRS and retry again. It will come. If that also doesn't work for a couple of times, then I restart the modem itself. So now that's about get request and post request. Hope you guys were able to follow that.